So I just got an email in, and it looks like we have the channel back. So I am gonna surprise Greg with this information. I think he's still asleep or something. I don't know if he knows yet, but let's go. Hey, Greg. Buddy. Hey. How's it going? You okay?
Yeah, I just keep wondering if we're ever gonna get this damn channel back.
Oh, I don't know how to tell you this, but I mean, we just got an email back, and it looks like we're probably never gonna get the channel back at this point. That's just what they said. That's don't. Eddie, whoa, Greg, Greg, where you going, man? Come on, Greg, Greg, we got the channel.
Oh my goodness, we are back.
What?
I think this is on YouTube now.
We've just been sitting here for weeks.
Just
at
refreshing the
this
page. Yeah, that's all we've done.
Sitting here wondering where all the comments went.
Where's our videos? Oh, guys, we've been gone for 3 weeks off of YouTube. If you guys don't follow us on social media, I'm sure you have no idea what's happened with our channel and why we haven't been around. But we're going to give you a full explanation today, talk about the experience a little bit, and have some thank yous to give as well.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I'm going to put this at the very beginning of the video. There are about 30 videos ready to upload right now.
Yeah, we didn't slack off. We've still been shooting.
No, not
We've
at
still
all.
been covering things. We've uploaded a lot to Facebook in the meantime.
And a lot to Patreon too, as for early access for when we did get our hands back on the channel. I don't want to do 30 uploads in one day because the way algorithm works and the way how whenever you upload, we lose subscribers right away. Funny enough, we've gained about 3,000 followers in the time we weren't uploading.
Yeah, good. We crossed 510K.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, cool. Well, at least that happened. But yeah, that's just a heads up about the uploads. We might as well just go into it of what happened to the channel. I've had to explain it to so many different people over the course of 3 weeks that I feel like I've gotten really good at efficiently explaining it. So here's how it goes. This all started the day after we put up the Infinity War reaction, and that was such a great day. That day taught John and I a hell of a lot about, especially how we want to keep doing the channel, how we want to run the channel specifically. It was awesome because we pulled an all-nighter, we shot a sketch, edited it, it's only like a minute and a half, but we loved it, and we put it before the reaction. We got one of the first ones to get our reaction up. Video hit the trending page. I saw at one point it was number 11 on the trending page, which was really cool. And then John and I felt like
we actually got to at least 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I saw a bunch of different ones throughout the day.
I think it's our only video that ever, it's not our most viewed video, but it's our only video that I think has ever actually hit the trending page. So that was really sweet. And then, then we went to take a nap because we earned it. And then it started. Problems started happening. The video got claimed by someone who was not like, it wasn't Marvel and it wasn't Disney. So when the studio claims it for the reaction, we're like, all right, whatever, not much you can really do about it. But it was some random claim that had no timestamp on it, and whenever you get whenever you get a claim from a studio, they give you a timestamp for when they're like, well, we're not cool with you using this, but we'll keep the video up. This was some claim that we didn't understand. And then we were trying to fight it because our video was trickling with so many view counts. And
it's from like a random music distribution company, and they hit everybody.
And they hit a lot of people. They didn't hit every single person, but they hit a lot of people.
Everyone whose video might have made money.
Yeah. And then after a few days, they eventually did lift the claim. But at the time, it wasn't lifted, so it was a very stressful day. And then the next day, it was our day to receive our payment. And if you guys don't know how payments work with YouTube, especially if you're partnered with a multi-channel network, and what a multi-channel network is, a lot of YouTubers, especially after you have like maybe around 30 to 50K, you get partnered with a multi-channel network. and they're essentially like a manager for your channel. They help you with your ads. They're
Manager
support
and distribution. They have
Yeah.
ways of pumping your
They
content
can help with
out
product placement
bring
and
you,
stuff.
Yeah, deals.
And so how it works is that even if you don't have an MCN, you always get paid a month after the month is over. So for example, if you do videos for June, from June to June 30th, you won't get that money till August 1st, probably somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah.
And then when we got our money, it was less. And keep in mind, the money that we're earning for YouTube, that's going for two of us, you know, and to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to pay everything, and to take care of our personal bills. And the money that we received was less than 10% of our earnings, which wasn't even enough to take care of like utilities or something, you know, like it was a scary situation.
Yeah, so that came in at 10%, and then that caused us to have to go in and look at a different issue, which had started, 9 or so days earlier with our MCN, basically. On the YouTube AdSense pays out on the 21st, and that's the day that we had some kind of disconnection error from our MCN. And so in trying to sort all that stuff out, this mound of issues.
Yeah, because we already had we're trying to get this claim lifted, and now we're not paid and rent's due, and we're freaking out about that.
We gotta reconnect our channel to the network, and we gotta fight this guy, and we gotta do all this stuff.
And then through the process of trying to sort it out, somehow our email got disconnected from the YouTube channel, meaning there was no way of us logging into the channel.
Yeah, which is weird because we've never had another email. We've never assigned it to a different account. It's always just been us.
So we've spent the past few weeks just really trying to get our channel back by the simple process of reconnecting our email. But the thing with communicating with YouTube is it always takes a long time to hear responses. We called Google a bunch of times. We managed to find a number to call Google. We've talked with so many different people who were talking to YouTube, talking with our network. And at this point right now, now that we have the channel back, we woke up to news that we got it back after a lot of work. So thank you to Fullscreen, our multi-channel network, for finally helping us get this solved. We still haven't gotten the earnings from October that we were supposed to get. We still haven't gotten that, so we have to sort that out. And there's
all these problems get solved in reverse order. So number one is getting the channel back.
And the in terms of the uploads, the reason we're not going to upload today is because there's still some technical things that is kind of boring mumbo jumbo that we have to sort out first before getting the uploads back up.
Everything's on the up and up before we start going back to business as usual.
And what helped save us was to be able to make the bills so we can still have a place to live and still do videos in the meantime to be ready for the channel comes back, is the sponsorship with Stardust and everyone at Patreon. And everyone at Patreon has been super supportive and super kind.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible journey, and I want to tell you guys a little bit about our emotional experience.
Stardust and Patreon both really saved us.
They saved our asses.
Thank you, guys.
They saved our asses.
Hugely.
I mean, we still got some debts we got to take care of. But,
many overdraft fees. Lots of unpaid bills.
But we're able to still have a place to sleep, which is cool.
That's priority one.
Yeah. So what I want to cover a little bit about is the emotional experience, because to me this was one of the worst and somehow one of the ironically best experiences I've ever had in terms of YouTube.
Character building, man, it's a life challenge.
Absolutely.
When you can't go to work.
I mean, beyond it being work necessarily, because the first few days, I was just in a really negative mood. I think John and I both were just in a very stressed, negative mood. I was I had a temper just ready to explode at some point. It was bad, and then we were having tension because it was just a lot of chaos. And then one day I decided that I had a talk with a couple of friends. Thanks, Marcelo, Shalina, and my girlfriend Olivia. You guys really helped out a lot. My girlfriend has been so patient, and she really helped us out a lot. She found numbers for us to call and support. She was fine. She has nothing to do with YouTube at all. There was stuff where no, we can't do that, and then she would figure it out for us.
Yeah. Well, and just helping keep morale up too. She's been huge for that too.
So what ended up happening in this emotional journey was I had to ask myself, what is the point of this experience? How come we have a video go trending for the first time ever, and now we don't get paid, and we don't have any access to the channel now to ride the momentum and the wave?
It's like a weird forced mic drop, just like biggest video of the year, trending page, we're done.
So I started asking myself, like, what are we supposed to learn from it? And a lot came to be learned from it. One, and there's several things I want to talk about. One was mainly the big thing is about with John and I, the relationship with John and I, a little bit BTS here, behind the scenes stuff, is, like when John and I started doing some sponsorship stuff and Patreon, there's no real need to explain it. It's because of the algorithm change and the adpocalypse that happened that we had to supplement that income, because the earnings off of YouTube alone dropped by like somewhere between 70 to 80%.
It's just not the same living it used to be, and you gotta adapt.
And in terms of sponsorships, every sponsorship deal we do, we always review what it is first. There's plenty of sponsorship deals we've been offered that we don't agree to. There's plenty that we don't agree to.
Yeah.
But the ones we do agree to, it's more than just like getting the extra earning. It's also we want to make sure this does line up in some capacity with what we're doing.
We try to temper the balance between I'd be lying if we said the rate means nothing, but we don't only look at that. We try to bring as much stuff in that matches our vibe or that's practical in some way.
Like one time we got offered $1,000 to review a movie that we both didn't like.
Yeah, we didn't like it enough to give them the kind of review
so
they
we were
needed.
like,
so we were like,
$1,000 sounds great right now, but we're not going to do it because we don't like the movie, you know?
Yeah.
And so Stardust has been an incredible sponsorship in that process. We even got a chance to do more Stardust videos because of the fact that we did. And
our following, they're still growing.
Yeah.
Like it would
and
anyway.
Our rep, Jake, has been so understanding as we've been going through this process because, you're contractually obligated to do some stuff, and we love working with Stardust specifically. We're not just saying that.
Yeah, this situation has cost us some deals, and Jake and Stardust have been so terrific, just sticking by and even still working with, still working with us on stuff. It's not even been check back in when the channel's back. It's like, nah, let's keep moving.
But in terms of like the earnings and the work put in of who's putting in work here and whatnot, and then when John lost his job, and then we decided to okay, let's just become full-on partners with the Real Rejects right now. Let's move in. Figuring out the money situation has been rough, and then I realized in this process that ever since Apocalypse, this is what slowing down and having a channel got me to realize that ever since Apocalypse, I love doing the videos. We love filming, and we've been getting back to that point in the past few months again where we just really love filming. And I realized I don't want to think about the money now, because when you lose that large percentage of money, you start just thinking about
you don't want to make the motivation the money.
Yeah, because that's why I think the Infinity War video did so well. It's like, it's Infinity War, so it's going to do well because it's the biggest trailer of the year. But regardless of that, when we saw the comments that day, it was mainly about our sketch, and we heard it was getting shared a lot because of the sketch, and that's because even during the reaction part, we had a lot of love and enthusiasm for that specific portion of it, and we even loved doing the reaction part. There was just so much excitement that we weren't thinking about views, we weren't thinking about money. We just wanted to make the most fun video possible. For this event.
That whole morning felt like some kind of event. It felt like a 24-hour film.
It was the most fun we've had
living
together, easily. That was the most fun because we got to be creative and also do what we love to do in the commentary section, the reaction side. Another thing that it got me to realize too was you guys might not have been around for this if you're watching this video, but a year or two ago, something like that, there's this whole situation with another YouTube channel that I don't think he's around anymore, Grade A Under A, where this is when reaction channels were getting a lot of crap. And, I felt like I had to defend myself, being like, well, we're more than a lot of reaction channels. We do a lot of commentary. We give a lot of reviews. Before there was
provide variety.
Before there was other movie channels doing the reaction and review stuff, I know we were the first ones to feel confident enough to be like, yeah, we actually really review these videos. Even the YouTube video reactions, I feel like 95% of them we provide commentary.
We make a point to put more than just the reaction.
We make a point to make it like the commentary part would be enough to be a video in and of itself without the reaction. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like if you're only concerned for the reaction, great. But if you want there to be something to justify beyond that, then we also got that too.
But the part that started getting to me, that kind of seeped into my subconscious that I realized was still there from the grade A under A experience of all the hate, was that I started getting to a point where I started forgetting, like, why do people like reactions? And that's kind of just been in my mind, you know, that without realizing that that's been in my mind, is that, oh, it's not worthy of being good enough or stuff. And I started realizing, like, people love reactions because of the fact that they get to live vicariously and get to experience with a friend what they're experiencing. And it's also just fun
form of hanging out, you know.
Even if it's a quiet reaction, if I'm watching a YouTuber I like who's doing a reaction to something, even if they're not really reacting, it's just fascinating to see their facial expressions and their instant commentary on what they're saying. And in terms of the commentary part, I think that we can provide good insight, and I think that we can be very entertaining, and I think we can make people laugh. So I'm like, yeah, we have a show, and it's worthwhile. So I started realizing our value a lot more in this process too. And then in terms of John and I, we were just like, you know what, let's just stick to doing what we love doing. Like, where do we want this channel to go? We took time to think about that. Like, where do we want this channel to go? Where do we want it to be? What's the big goal with it? And, you know, like, in terms of money, like, no, let's just help each other take care of each other's bills and just keep doing what we love doing, because at the end of the day, that's what just does best on YouTube. Is if we're not concerned about people pleasing, if we're not concerned about money, and we're just, all we care about is we want to make sure whatever videos we're putting up, we just love doing. we want to do these videos, so just keep doing that. Yeah. So that's been a really big help. And it also got us a chance to think of a couple of new ideas of things that we want to do. Like there's a new segment that we're thinking of doing that I ran by a few patrons, and they seem really enthusiastic about it. So we want to implement a new segment, more discussion videos as well. We'll still keep the reactions going because we love doing that. And also I have a little guideline here. Uploads to tomorrow. And also, I did want to take time out to give some major thank yous to some people in this process, because while it's been a lifelong, we've learned to relax. It takes, you learn something when you're put in a position of survival and you just have no choice but to slow down and not stress, because it's like, if we're worrying, that does no good. We have to just be grateful and be patient and be positive and stop putting out negative vibes to the internet too, about like, channels down, I realized there was one day where I went to John, like, you know, I think that I'm not gonna keep bitching about it to people. I'm not going to keep complaining about it to anyone. I just want to
find a way to proceed instead. Yeah.
I just want to be optimistic about it, and genuinely optimistic. And I felt like well, at least on my, I don't know if, for sure if you did, but on my end, I did get to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm not worried about it anymore. I feel like we'll get it back one day, and when we get it back, we'll just go gung ho with it.
Yeah. Once you calm down, and once you also accept the indefinite nature of the, because, you know, I mean, throughout this process, the only consistency has been like, there's not really much specificity.
Yeah.
And we don't know when anything's going to happen. So after a week or so, you start to be like, well, I know it can be sorted out, and I know it'll take some time. So let's just use the time in the meantime.
Because we haven't been kicking it. Like,
no,
we've been doing a lot of Patreon, a lot of Facebook stuff, a lot of building social media. There's been a lot, and like a lot of prepping for when we do get the channel
back. And it's been good for things like that. It's helped to grow our social media and to open us up to more avenues and you know, broader places to put things.
Yeah. And then a week ago, I put out a tweet asking for people to please retweet this, as we're doing whatever we can to get energy directed towards getting the channel back in a positive manner.
Yeah.
So I put out a tweet asking for people to please retweet it with an explanation of the situation. A lot of great friends of ours really retweeted it for us. There are some people I texted specifically to help us out. So I want to give thank yous to those guys. Brianne Chandler and Stacey Howard from Hit or Miss Movies, Tyrone Magnus. You know, everyone knows Tyrone. Brianna White from Strange Rebel Gaming, Dan Cyber from That Cyber Channel, Alyssa Be Crazy, Casey Spivey from Screen Rant, Christian Harloff, I was really happy he retweeted it, Ashley Edner and Morgan Han from How To's of Morgan and Ashley, John Roca and Perry Nemiroff and Wendy Lee from Collider Videos, Amy Castle, an author who I had a great dinner with named Caleb Cal, wanted to interview me for this book he's writing. He was really supportive. Lisa Mahalik, the Flick Pick, John Flickinger, he retweeted us. Screen Junkies from Joe Starr and John Bailey, thank you guys. Akasan, my man. Lauren Francesca, who has been checking up on us like every other day and retweeted on everyone, thank you. Kyle Eilerman from Fan Theory, Tara Erickson, Agor 711, Andrew Gordon from the Movie Source channel, of course, our great friend Anita Starr, and big special thank yous. Mainly to my brother Jabby Koei on the internet, because we knew that most of our following is on YouTube and not on our social media, so we wanted to try to get the word out, and he let us upload a couple of videos onto his channel directly. He helped get us in touch with creator support, because when you're locked out of YouTube you can't, so he really helped us out with that.
He helped us out with a lot of stuff.
So thank you, my brother. And Sonalica, our contact at YouTube, has been very good at communicating with us lately, so thank you.
Yeah,
my
appreciate the help.
Girlfriend Olivia, like we said, has been a great moral support and has put up with my negativity in that first week so much. Man, she's been so patient with me and always understanding, and no matter how like hopeless I would get, she would just be right there to just be a positive support, a rock for me to bounce off of. And last but not least, our rep Brian, and then a person at Full Screen who worked with us, Taylor. Brian and Taylor at Full Screen, you guys helped us get the channel back. So major thank you to you guys. Yeah,
seriously.
Because there's a benefit to having a multi-channel network right there. Well, oftentimes I meet YouTubers, and sometimes I've asked myself that too, like, what's the benefit of having a multi-channel network? And this was a prime example of that. So thank you.
Oh yeah, especially if you need to deal with the machine itself, because I mean, partly through this, what I've had to remind myself throughout this whole experience is that as annoying as it is, and as much as there should be like a good system for this, YouTube is such a gigantic, intricate, vast machine, and it is hard to reach people there. And so Brian and Taylor, they managed to reach them, much better and more effectively than we could on our own. So
absolutely. So with all that in mind, thank you guys. We're excited to enter the new year. I have this whole note right here that's titled "Special YouTube Video Ideas" that we want to do, and also, a big thank you to the patrons actually, because the people, I thought we gave time out to we touched on the Patreon, but a big thank you to the patrons, because when this happened, we learned a lot about what makes Patreon so special too. Is with Patreon, we realized in this process that Patreon's become like a second YouTube channel for us. It's more than just like pledge and then you get some perks. Like, you really get a whole other video segments, like a bunch. Like,
we shoot a whole lot, and it's like with YouTube's content guidelines, our Patreon now is sort of the place for the uncut feed. Here's the raw
it's
stuff.
The raw, free form, more of what we just want to do. Like on the $5 and up segments, it's like exclusive Patreon reactions, just reactions to stuff that we want to do or recommendations from patrons on there. And then for the $1 and up, it gives you access to the monthly Q&A, which has been one of my favorite things to do, because it's not a live stream. It's not like we just answer a question for 30 seconds to a minute. Usually we make a video response to every question, which usually becomes a full-on video.
Which usually becomes a discussion.
Yeah, it becomes it's like a new discussion type of game, and it's been so much fun. And a lot of you guys raised your pledges because of what we were going through, so really do appreciate that. Like people like Matt Beer and Rosa Para and David Gandy, specifically you guys. I remember you guys raised your pledges to help out, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And of course, Gareth Hood as well. So yeah, the patrons and it's been a lot of support. I feel like this experience showed us we have a lot of friends in the community.
A lot of friends, a lot of support, a lot of love.
Yeah, so it's actually what started off as one of the worst experiences became one of the most enlightening experiences as well.
And I mean, just thank you to everybody
and all the other subscribers who started spreading the word and helping us out and showing the support. So thank you.
Because it's more than just the people we named here. I mean, we've had people on the page commenting, people retweeting stuff for us, people liking, and people we didn't even contact who just out of the kindness of their hearts and out of the interest in our channel decided to do that. So really, like, if you're watching this at all, thank you. because that's been the most reassuring
That's
part.
been the most reassuring part, and we're gonna keep the uploads going. We gotta spread. We gotta figure out the order we're gonna upload. We gotta figure out how many to
Star
upload
Wars
a day.
first.
Yeah, just all the Star Wars videos first. Yeah. We just got
Star Wars week.
We're gonna watch Jumanji in like a half hour, so we gotta get this up right away. But in all sincerity, we're happy to be back. We love you guys, and excited
for a new year.
Excited for the new year, and hopefully you guys and keep loving our videos. Much love. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Yay.